Good morning, everyone. Let's go through how to do this HBCU article. HBCU stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities. These are universities that were founded way back when, back in the eras of segregation, when blacks and whites were not allowed to associate with each other. You may be familiar with the fact that back then high schools were segregated, but did you know that colleges were also forced to be separate? A black person couldn't just go to Harvard. Harvard was a school for white people. So, what did they do? They had to start founding their own universities. And since those universities now have been around for a long time, and that some of these were the very first universities in the United States, they've gained a bit of a reputation. Do you know what an Ivy League school is? Ivy League is Harvard, Yale, Oxford, the best schools in the country. I'm currently wearing a shirt from Columbia, where my dad went, is an Ivy League school. They've been around forever. And the HBCUs are very similar. So what we're going to do is open up this article, and we're going to read it together in class. Now, for my in-person students, we're going to be taking turns reading it. Now, that's not going to work all too well for kids online. So, you lucked out. We're going to read this article, which actually has a different title and is shorter than what we're reading together in class, but it has the same information. I'm going to read it to you because it's only fair. If you got to hear other students read it in class, it would be read to you. So I'm going to read it to you. Make sure you're paying attention. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go straight through this article. Let me turn off my camera. It's making me nervous. All about HBCUs in America. Have you considered going to college? Some students decide to attend a college or university based on what they can learn if the sports teams are any good. There are many important things to remember when choosing a college, such as its history. In the United States of America, there are over 100 historically black colleges and universities across the nation. A historically black college and university was founded. Sorry, I read the acronym. An HBCU is a historically black college or university that was founded to provide African Americans with a quality education. There are currently HBCUs in 20 of the 50 states in America, as well as the U.S. Virgin Islands. 2 HBCUs in Pennsylvania, Cheyenne University and Lincoln University, opened before the Civil War and the end of slavery, led to a growth of black colleges. For the first time, many African Americans were able to go to school to learn. During segregation, black people had a hard time going to colleges, but not at HBCUs. Some famous people, Martin Luther King, Oprah Winfrey, W.E.B. Du Bois, Thurgood Marshall, and many, many more went to historically black colleges and universities. Today, many students go to HBCUs to learn about their history and culture. Students learn about different topics such as education, biology, business, and more. HBCUs offer many clubs, teams, and organizations for students to become leaders on campus. Many students decide to join a fraternity, organization for men, or a sorority, which is an organization for women. Students do volunteer work and give back to others. One of the clubs offered at HBCUs is the marching band. Students play music to entertain the crowd during football games, parades, and other events on campus. Homecoming is at a time of the year that is popular at HBCUs. This is a time when people go to celebrate HBCUs. There are usually football games, parades, parties, church services, and pageants. These students also choose a homecoming queen. HBCU's students must have good attendance and make wise choices while they are in college. Students that receive good grades and join clubs can get scholarships. Scholarships are money that is awarded to students to pay their college costs, called tuition. Many students begin to apply for scholarships even before they are in college. While students are at an HBCU, they are able to learn more about themselves, build their sense of pride, gain information about their history, and express themselves in a unique way. The main purpose for students at an HBCU is to get a quality education and become successful in their careers afterward, while continuing the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. All right, now that we've read this once, let's go through it and see if there are any words that we don't understand. I've got to find my cheat sheet here real quick. It seems to have lost it. Here it is. All right, let's take a look at a few words that we might not know. An HBCU is a university that was founded. What's this word founded mean? I want you to highlight this with me on your copy. Founded means that it was created or established. This is a different, my cheat sheet isn't helping me too much here. I'm using a different version of the text. Let's take a look down here at this word, fraternity, and this word, sorority. Have you ever heard these words before? A fraternity, it tells us here, is an organization for men. Have you ever seen Monsters University? In Monsters University, they live in this little white house off on the edge of their university. Their campus is what we call it. Campus is all of the grounds where all the buildings are at. They have this house on the edge of campus, and they all wear a sweater with the same logo on it. It's like a U with monster horns, and they call themselves Kappa Beta Scream or something like that. They have a fraternity, is what they are in Monsters University. And in that movie, the different fraternities, the different groups on campus compete with each other. And then a sorority is the female version of that. It's like a club, but it's not a club that the school creates. It's a club that the students there create. Let's take a look at the word homecoming. If you're familiar with the Marvel movies, you might know Spider-Man Homecoming. In that movie, Spider-Man is in high school, and he's worrying about who he's going to take to the homecoming dance. A homecoming is a dance. It's a time of year, it says here, when they go to celebrate. And let's see, down here, the word scholarship. A scholarship, we learned in this, is money that people earn. when you get to high school, you guys are going to hear a lot about scholarships. Scholarships are very, very, very important. Basically, a scholarship is when somebody else gives you money to go to school. If I were to say, you know what, you got good grades, here's $20, use it for your education. That would be a scholarship. People around the United States and around the world compete to see who's going to get the money from scholarships. A lot of the times you'll have to write a paper or do a science project or maybe just be lucky. There are scholarships for people who are black, people who are redheaded, people who are living in certain areas of the country. They put your name in a hat with all the other people from there. They pull it out, and if you're lucky, you get the money. And that money is used to pay our next word, tuition. Tuition is the money that you have to pay to go to college. Unfortunately, college costs money, as I know very well. I graduated with $80,000 in debt. $80,000 to go to school and get my teacher's license to be a teacher. Tuition is that money, so scholarships cover your tuition. And I think that might be all. If you see any other words in here that you don't understand, please get a hold of me. Maybe segregation. We're all familiar with segregation. I hope it's when blacks and whites were not allowed to live and work together. All right, so if we scroll down past this, we see our instructions. First read, the teacher reads aloud, and we circle new vocabulary words. We already did that. Second, read to a classmate. Wah, wah, you can't do that. Third, read it on your own. Pause this video right now and go read this article again. Now that you know the meaning of those words, it's going to make more sense to you. And you're going to pick up on things that you didn't pick up on before. I mean it. Go pause the video and go do that. So now that you're back, we can look at these questions. I'm going to read them to you. I'm going to get them started. Directions. Answer the following questions using information from the text. What is this passage mostly about? We're going to grab our text tool. We can start. This passage is mostly about. And then fill in your answer. What is it mostly about? Is it mostly about colleges? Is it mostly about Pennsylvania? Is it mostly about famous people? Is it mostly about organizations and fraternities? Is it mostly about dances? What's the biggest thing in this article? Number 2, how have HBCUs helped African American students over the past years? I'm assuming you paused the video and answered the last question. If you haven't done that, go do that. Answering this question, HBCUs have helped African Americans students by blank. How have they helped them? Did they give them money? Did they give them a place to stay? Did they, wow, I spelled Americans with an F. Did they, I don't know, what did they do? Pause the video and go answer it. Number 3, what does the term founded mean? Ooh, I just told you. Rewind the video and find it if you don't remember. Founded means blank. Fill in the answer. Pause. All right. 4. Why are HBCUs important? HBCUs are important because T-E-C-A-U-S-E. Blank. Fill in the answer. Why are they important? Why should we care? And number 5. List 5 clubs, teams, or organizations that are available at HBCUs. You're going to find this on this second page. We talked a little bit about them, about a type of club that the students have to create. And also, this is asking you about things that they do. What do they celebrate? What opportunities do they have to have a little bit of fun? Okay, we're gonna do this in 5. We're gonna do this with a list. You can just do 1 and then list it. 2. So 1, my thing. 2, the thing. Okay. Then just keep listing it. 3, whatever it is. 4, whatever it is. 5, whatever it is. And once you've answered that, that's really gross. I'm going to delete it. 1, 2. Makes me feel better. Once you've listed all 5 of those and you've answered all of these questions, you are done with this project. You can turn it in. Whatever time you have left in class should be used on ScoopPad. On in-person students, we are spending we're spending 75 minutes together in class. My in-person students are not going to need 75 minutes to do this, and neither did you. Use the next 20 minutes, we'll say, to work on ScoopPad. And if you don't know how to get to ScoopPad yet, you need to come talk to me right away. Goodbye.